Welcome back to our journey into the teachings of Guanyin. In the previous episode, we followed a desperate mother who found peace by sincerely calling the name of Guanyin. But calling the name of Guanyin is only the beginning. The deeper question is, how can we bring this compassion into our own lives? Can a simple practice really change the way we face fear, loneliness, regret, and suffering? Today, we will discover the practice of Guanyin and how it can slowly transform the heart. For centuries, people have called upon Guanyin during moments of fear, grief, illness, and uncertainty. Some prayed for healing. Some prayed for protection. Some simply called the name because they had nowhere else to turn. But the deeper teaching of Guanyin is not that suffering will magically disappear. It is that we can learn to meet suffering with a different heart. And to understand this, let us return to an old story from ancient China. Many centuries ago, there lived an elderly man in a quiet, ancient Chinese town. When he was young, he had spent his entire life chasing success. He worked hard to build wealth. He wanted respect. He wanted his family to live comfortably. He believed that if he achieved enough, he would finally become happy. But as the years passed, everything he had depended on slowly disappeared. His business failed. His friends moved away. His children grew older and left home. And eventually, the woman he had loved for most of his life was gone. One evening, he sat alone inside his empty house. The room was silent. Only the sound of rain could be heard outside the wooden window. For the first time, he realized something painful. He had spent his whole life trying to gain things, but he had never learned how to find peace within himself. That night, unable to sleep, he left his house. He walked slowly through the ancient streets, beneath the moonlight. He did not know where he was going. He simply kept walking. After some time, he noticed a small light in the distance. Beyond the trees stood a small Buddhist temple. It was hidden deep inside the forest. Gentle rain fell through the branches. Small lanterns glowed along the stone pathway. The old man slowly walked toward the temple. Inside, everything was quiet. The fragrance of incense filled the air. And before him stood a serene image of white-robed Guanyin Bodhisattva. The old man looked at the statue for a long time. Then he slowly knelt down. With tears in his eyes, he whispered, "Is it too late for someone like me?" An elderly monk sitting nearby heard his words. The monk looked at him with a gentle smile. He did not criticize the old man's past. He did not ask about his failures. He simply said, "Guanyin does not ask when you arrived." The old man looked up. The monk continued, "What matters is whether your heart is ready to awaken now." The words were simple, but they touched something deep inside the old man's heart. The monk then invited him to sit quietly. He said, "Close your eyes. Feel your breathing. Do not chase your thoughts. Do not fight your regrets. Simply breathe." Then the monk gently said, "Recite the name of Guanyin." The old man placed his palms together. He closed his eyes and slowly began, "Namo Guanyin Pusa." At first, his mind was still filled with memories. He remembered his failures. He remembered his anger. He remembered the people he had hurt. He remembered the words he wished he had never spoken. He remembered the people he had lost. His mind wanted to run back into the past, but this time he did not follow it. He returned to his breath. Then he repeated, Namo Guanyin Pusa, 1 time, 5 times, 10 times. Slowly, the storm inside his heart became quieter. Nothing outside him had changed. His wife did not return. His wealth did not return. His youth did not return. His past could not be rewritten. But something inside him had changed. For the first time in many years, he stopped fighting against what had already happened. He allowed himself to breathe. He allowed himself to feel. He allowed himself to let go. And in that moment, he discovered something important. Peace does not always come from changing our circumstances. Sometimes, peace begins when we stop fighting the present moment. This is the deeper practice of Guanyin. Guanyin does not promise a life without suffering. Instead, Guanyin teaches us how to remain compassionate while suffering is present. Fear may still come. Grief may still come. Loneliness may still come. But we do not have to become completely lost inside them. We can breathe. We can listen. We can observe. And we can return to compassion. The greatest miracle is not changing the world around us. The greatest miracle is transforming the heart that meets the world. And this practice is not only for monks. You do not need to live in a temple. You do not need to understand complicated Buddhist philosophy. You can begin exactly where you are. Today, find a quiet place. Sit comfortably. Rest your hands gently over your heart. Close your eyes. Take 3 slow breaths. As you breathe in, simply know that you are breathing in. As you breathe out, allow your body to soften. Then, slowly recite Namo Guanyin Pusa. Do not rush. Do not recite as if you are trying to finish a task. Let each sound settle gently into your heart. If painful thoughts appear, do not push them away. If fear appears, do not run from it. If sadness appears, do not judge yourself for feeling it. Simply notice, breathe, listen, and return to compassion. But Guanyin practice does not end when meditation ends. It continues in the way we treat other people. Compassion is not weakness. Compassion is courage. It is the courage to remain gentle when life becomes difficult. It is the courage to listen before judging. It is the courage to help someone who is struggling. It is the courage to forgive. And sometimes, compassion means simply staying beside someone who is suffering. A young person helping an elderly person walk. A mother listening patiently to her child. A friend sitting silently beside someone who is grieving. A stranger offering help when someone has fallen. These small actions may look ordinary, but this is where compassion becomes real. Perhaps this is why Guanyin is known as the One who hears the sounds of the world. Because before we can truly hear others, we must first learn to hear our own hearts, to hear the fear behind our parents' words, to hear the need behind a child's crying, to hear the exhaustion behind a partner's silence, to hear the loneliness behind someone's anger, and even to hear the wound behind our own anger. When we truly learn to listen, compassion begins to arise. The practice of Guanyin is not simply asking, "Please take away my suffering." It is also learning to ask, "Can I meet this suffering with wisdom? Can I respond without creating more harm? Can I remain compassionate even when my heart is hurting?" This is where prayer becomes practice. This is where faith becomes awareness. And this is where compassion slowly becomes part of who we are. So, when suffering comes, remember to breathe. When fear appears, listen. When your heart feels broken, do not abandon yourself. Return to the breath. Return to awareness. Return to compassion. And if you choose to recite Namo Guanyin Pusa, let each repetition become a gentle reminder. You are here. You are breathing. You can begin again. If this episode brought even a little peace to your heart, take a moment to carry that peace into your day. And if this teaching touched something within you, share it with someone who may need a little compassion today. You may also leave these 4 words in the comments. Listen. Suffering. Compassion arises. May compassion become your strength. May wisdom become your guide. And may every difficult moment become an opportunity to return to a peaceful heart. Namo Guanyin Pusa. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings live in peace.